Hey guys, this is Logia123 again, and I'm very excited today to show you how I made my new Super Fighter jet. I already do old version of it, the 4.0, but it has a lot of things I didn't like, the design in particular. Um, and some of the functionalities were not improved, and the controls were very hard to understand. And because you always have to switch into hard and easy mode, and this wasn't very nice. So I do a new version with new fresh look, simplified a lot the control, and I hope you will enjoy it very more than the other, even if the other got legendary. Um, I hope this one will go legendary too. So here's my world. You start on a landing platform with a welcome text and the controls that are indicated here. Just tap the button, continue, and play. And then go forward with the up arrow and go up with the down mover. It may lag a little bit on my screen, it's normal. I'm on the iPad mini, first gen, and the old device may lag a lot with this game. It's totally normal. When there is too much blocks moving, the calculation of the physics slow down a lot the rendering of the game. So as you can see, there is inverted vertical controls for going up or down. This is normal, this is the standard control for planes, and the side control are not turning the plane, they are just tilting it. Again, it's like the realistic controls, it's like a real plane, it will just do this. So to turn, you will have to tilt first on the side and then to tilt down or up, and it will turn. It will raise the up of the plane. And there is also miss rockets that are chasing you, and when they hit you for more for 3 to 5 seconds, then you explode. And a little bubble will show you if you want to restart or you want to quit. At the beginning you can also see the coding, and I made this for you guys so you can see all the programmation I made on it, and you can reproduce it yourself at home if you want. I will not be mad for this. And what's amazing and what I just discovered with Blocksworld is that you can add a quit function, and that will quit the game and go back on the menu. I made, for the speech bubble, I made a tutorial on my channel, on my tips and tricks playlist. Just see it and you will understand how I made it. So how I made it. First, you will have to build a jet design. For that, you can what helps a lot to think of the design of something is checking Lego designs, because they are very similar to the game design, and realistic photos or pictures may be very hard to reproduce in Blocksworld. So there we go. We have first a main reactor, the only one of the plane, that will propulse, that will make us go forward very fast. As you can see, I put a lot of fire function. This is normal. The force applied on the plane will go up with sum at each function you put. As you can also see, there is another function of the up arrow that will fire the reactor. but this time I put the bump to a circle tagged block. And the circle tagged block is the landing platform. So when it's on the landing platform, it goes faster than when it's in the air. But no, it may not be faster, but it just apply more force because because of the plane is not on levitation on the ground, it goes more slowly when you put the same force. So that's why I upgraded force here. Another thing very important are the hoovers. For the controls, I use hoovers. I don't use reactors because they are not working on two sides. They just apply force on one side. But with the hoovers, you can go up and you can go also down. But before showing you this, I will show you this block. In this block, I'm using the not function of my other video on the tips and tricks section. And that means that when the entire plane, make sure you tap on the function to make it applicable for the entire model. So when the entire model is hitting the ground or is bumping a circle type block, which means the landing platform, it turns into red. And when this block is red, it sends a signal. That means the plane is on the ground. And when it's not on the ground, it turns always back to the white color, so it sends the B signal. And that means the plane is in the air. So when the plane is in the air, you can now control it in any sides you want. So here, when you put the mover down when going up, it go up. And when you put the mover up when going forward, sorry for that, when you're going up with the mover and going forward with the arrow, and you are in the air, it go down. But if you press the up arrow, it will up a little bit because the plane, the anti-grav block don't align it correctly. So the plane is always facing a little bit down the horizontal. So that's why I put the up and wait. It will raise the top of the plane just a little bit to realign it. And when you press the down arrow, the mover will go into white. So the down arrow is for the landing mode. And when you press that, the plane is going to align itself, and it will don't be able to move it on the side or on the ground. And when you go into the air, when you return into the air with the up arrow and the down joystick, it will turn into black. And when you hit up with when it's on the air and you are on landing mode, it goes up, so it will raise a little bit the top of the plane, the front of the plane, so it will make an angle that will slow down the plane on its falling. I also have another mover. I will show you that later. First, God, that's the thing I hate in Blocksworld. The zooming function is not working properly. There we go. But before showing you the other mover on the front, I will show you the mover on the edges of the wings. These will tilt the plane on each side, depending on what side of mover you are using. And there is another one on the other edge, and that will do the inverted function of this one. So when you turn the mover into the left, it will goes up and the other edge will go down. And the same thing for the other side. And always when it's in the air only. Then, if you find the controls too much harder, you can also use the side arrows. So the right and left arrows will realign the plane and will just move the front of it. It will not tilt or anything, it will just turn normally. Then you also have anti-grav block. It looks a way more complicated than it is really. So I will explain you that. When you first, the anti-grav block is by default white, as you can see on the screen. And when it's right, that means that the plane is on landing mode, or it's on landing mode. And when it starts on the ground, like right now, it's on landing mode. So that will align the plane. I put a lot of align function to make sure it's very align, and that's it. It will just align the plane. It will not go on levitation, it will not fall, it will just align the plane. And when you press the up arrow and the down mover, it goes into air mode. And the air mode is making the plane leviate and doesn't align the plane. Then I use some another knot system that I make on another video, and it starts just here. So you have the no texture function just here, and it will wait sometimes because I want it to wait before executing the this function. So that will means that when you press the up arrow, the block is going to shade and light with this texture. It's going to go in this texture here. And when you are not pressing the up arrow, it will going into no textures. And when the plane is in the air, you remember, and there is no texture, so that means when you don't press the up arrow for 5 wait time, the plane will fall. But it will not do like a single fall function. It will do like a leviate and fall function, because when it's red, it always leviate. So that means the plane is just falling by itself normally, like if there was no anti-grav blocks. And then, because we want the plane turn with no tilt when you use the arrows, it will align the plane when you press the one or the other side arrows and when it's in the air. So that starts to be a little bit more complicated. You just really have to think of all your stuff before applying it, and just make sure you have all the states you want. Then we also have lasers. Lasers are very fun and useful because they are used to destroy the rockets that are chasing you. And I put 2 types of lasers. As you can see there is a toggle system for the pulse lasers. So it means that when you press once, it turns the lasers on, and when you press it again, it turns the lasers off. And even when you keep it pressing, it not change the toggle system. And you also have the L button lasers that will do beam lasers. I put them because with the pulse lasers it's sometimes very hard to hit a moving object. So I put short time alternated beam lasers on the front to make you more easy to hit a rocket. So for making this, I just bought a simple toggle system. I explained it very well on my last video. You can check on some. I may put a bubble on YouTube for you, and this is it. I will explain it shortly. So it's also working with a knot system that I also explained on one of my video. So basically it's when you press the air button, it goes into flashy texture, and when you don't, it goes into no texture. Then when it's into no texture and it's dark red and it's in the air, it goes into light red. And when it's right red and you are pressing air and there is no texture, it goes into dark red. So that means that when you are in the air, you can turn the lasers on, but you can't when you are on the ground. And you can always turn them off, whatever, if you are on the ground or in the air. And when it's on light red, it pulls. And for the other lasers, well, that's very, very simple. You can notice that I put a chandelier. I don't know how to say it in English. Chandelier, well, a stand with candles. And then it's just very simple function. So when you press the L button and it's in the air, it wait, goes into a texture, wait again, and remove the texture it was. And when it's textured, it beam. And the other lasers have the same thing, but with the wait after the texture change. And these candle stands, these stands of candles can pass through a lot of type of blocks, as Punk AD show in one of its video. You can also notice that when I start, the windows are very nice and seems reflecting the sun. So for doing this, all you have to do is put the blink texture. The blink texture will make it like a metal, but because it's blue, it acts like windows reflecting the sun. I also have wheels that are very simple. They just drive when they are on the ground and you press the up arrow, and flaps accorded to them, and that's very simple. When you go in the air, it acts with a toggle system again. It turns into red, and when you are going on landing mode, it turns into white. And the red will wind and the white will release. I also have speech bubbles on the rear small wing, and it uses a knot system again for the missiles. So it's there that I put the bump for force gun before explosion function with the rockets. So how I did this? Basically, it always turn into red when it don't change color. Then first, when it's red, like it is going to be when you hit play, and a missile tagged triangle hits you, it will speak, and the speak function is approximately 4 seconds. Then, after the speak function, it will turn into white and wait a little bit. Then, if the triangle tagged rocket still hitting the plane when it's because it's changed color, so when it's still hitting the plane before it changed color, it just explode and shut off. I put a C signal to make the missiles, also the chasing rockets, explode, and a wait before the shut off because it has to speak before shutting off for the ending message. And at the start, what I did is I put the block gray, so when it's gray, it does 3 speaks at a time, one after the other. And because it's always turning into red, well, this condition is not true anymore after its initiation. For understanding the NOT function with the priority of the operation, please check my other video. I explain it very better. And the rockets, finally, before ending, the plane, one of the interior piece of the plane is tagged with square. So the missiles will always leviate, align, and turn to the square tagged block, which means the plane, and it's also tagged triangle. And when the plane is bumped by triangle, well, it does all the function I showed you some minutes ago. And when it's so at the beginning, they are not firing, they are not moving. The missiles wait for you to press the up arrow, the down joystick, and go into the air before activating. And you can see there is some wait function that are randomly distributed into the rockets. Yay, the app crash. And they are waiting before moving, because if they all moves at the same time, the old devices like iPad mini will just lag a lot when playing the game. You can also see some seconds ago that they has a C signal condition. So when there is a C signal, the missile would just explode. And there is again some weights before the explosion distributed randomly into the rockets to make sure they don't explode at the same time. Because again, if they all explode at the same time, when they all explode at the same time, it will just make the game a lot laggy. Well, that was pretty the end of my my world showing. At least the app just crashed at the end, hopefully for this. So there was no other things that I had to show you. There is a surprise in my world. I will not show you, I will let you discover it. If you just play with it, you will find it very easily. And the only problem is to deploy the surprise, but you just have to play with all the buttons and you will see what happens. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm doing a lot of series now, especially for the tips and tricks and the advanced lessons. So hope you enjoy and subscribe. I will be very happy to continue it. You can notice that the new update of YouTube isn't very perfect. It's lagging a lot. But there are some of my videos you can see on the right. And I also have playlists of tips and tricks, which is very interesting for you guys to learn new things. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy and hope you will have a lot of creativity and programmation skills thanks to this video.